Hello and welcome to the news button. Now that a new government is in place in West Bengal, this raises an obvious question. Can the new CM deliver? Can Shubhendu Adhikary prove himself to be that growth wizard with a magic wand that Bengal long awaited for? Can he turn West Bengal into Eastern India's prime growth engine? Well, time will tell. Mr. Adhikary inherits an intensely divided society, a disturbed state with high communal discord at present, an inept administrative machinery that is highly corrupt and undelivering. Then there is the uncontrolled influx of illegal Bangladeshi migrants and Rohingyas. After getting sworn in as the next CM, Mr. Adhikary has swung already into action mode. First, he cleared the documents transferring all land near the border to the Central Home Ministry to complete the border fencing with Bangladesh. Mr. Adhikary is an astute politician. He understands pretty well that until and unless he stops the cross-border infiltration, nothing concrete can he achieve economically nor in terms of improving law and order in the border state. He has to ensure Bengal is for Indian Bengalis and not for the Bangladeshi infiltrators. West Bengal, which Nobel laureate Tagore called Amar Sonar Bangla, possesses all the ingredients required to emerge as Eastern India's dominant growth engine. It has strategic geography, deep water ports, abundant intellectual capital, fertile agricultural land, cultural influence, and connectivity to the Northeast and Southeast Asia. It is a travesty of fate that a state that once led India is now in such dire state. It is a classic example what successive inept misgovernance and governments can do to the soul of a prosperous region like West Bengal. West Bengal now stands at a defining moment in its political and economic journey. Once celebrated as India's intellectual and industrial powerhouse, the state today is in dire condition. It has been reduced to ignominy by decades of misgovernance, high unemployment, gaping communal divide, massive influx of illegal Bangladeshis, and worst, poor economic growth, something much below its potential. Successive governmental policies, trade unionism forced most industries to flee out of the state. The Tatas relocating their nano plant from Singapore on Mamta's interference is only very well known. At this backdrop, the new CM now inherits a state not in order. He will bear the responsibility of fixing it, rebuilding public confidence, and restoring Bengal's past glory and long-term economic competitiveness. But Bengal's revival cannot depend on slogans or short-term welfare politics alone. The state requires a concrete, comprehensive, consistent development-fast roadmap, laser-focused on resetting governance, restoring law and order, creating jobs, reviving educational excellence, spurring industrial investment, boosting up critical infrastructure, and stopping illegal trans-border infiltration. A change in government doesn't automatically mean Bengal will spring back to its glorious days. CM Shubhendu Adhikary will have to shoulder the onus to bring in real change on the ground, something he has been commanded by the people of Bengal to do. We have prepared a tentative, actionable roadmap for the new CM to transform Bengal into East India's prime growth engine. PM Modi's Chief Economic Advisor, Sanjeev Sanyal, who hails from Kolkata, has spoken passionately about Kolkata's economic revival. Purbodoy, or the rise of the East, will only become possible through the holistic economic revival of Kolkata and in turn West Bengal. So what the new CM must do? Here is a to-do list. First, industrial renaissance through investment corridors. The next administration must aggressively pursue industrial expansion across sectors such as electronics manufacturing, green energy, logistics, textiles, and semiconductor supply chains. Strategic industrial corridors connecting Kolkata, Durgapur, Siliguri, Haldia, and Asansol could transform Bengal into East India's manufacturing gateway. The new government should take strong steps to establish three high-impact mega-industrial corridors. First, the Kolkata-Haldia Industrial Belt. Second, Durgapur-Asansol Advanced Manufacturing Zone. Third, Siliguri Logistics and Trade Corridor. These zones can attract investments in electronics manufacturing, EV supply chains, green hydrogen, textiles, defense components, semiconductor ancillary units, renewable energy equipment, the revival of ports, modernizing port infra, freight connectivity, and export infra around Haldia and Kolkata will immensely help Bengal compete with western and southern states that currently dominate industrial investment. The Adhikary government must take steps to fast-track industrial approvals. The CM should introduce a 30-day single-window clearance system, digital land bank portal, time-bound environmental approvals, and investor grievance redressal mechanism. This would transform Bengal into one of India's easiest states to invest in and to do business with. Second, transforming Kolkata into Eastern India's financial and innovation capital. Most policy strategists agree that Kolkata can become a powerful financial and technology hub if backed by aggressive reforms. So how can the government do this? Well, the key priorities before the government would be to expand fintech and AI startup ecosystems to leverage the AI wave with help from its own workforce serving elsewhere. The government will do well to establish Bengal innovation districts. This would be to facilitate a culture of innovation and build innovation clusters. Next, it should see to it that Bengal successfully attracts global capability centers, the GCCs, to its tech ecosystem around Kolkata and Haldia. Encouragement to startups is a must to kickstart entrepreneurial culture in the state. The government should build a world-class startup park, a la Gurgaon or Bengaluru. Similarly, data centers and cloud infrastructure is something that is preconditional to any sort of technological dominance in the future. The new government must incentivize data centers and cloud infrastructure in a big way. The CM should launch a state-backed Bengal Tech Mission, laser focused on artificial intelligence, robotics, cyber security, deep tech research, biotechnology, and semiconductor design. All new age, next gen techs to power Bengal into the next decade. Third, The state should fast track massive infrastructure modernization to upgrade Bengal's logistics backbone. The state must modernize its highways, freight rail, inland waterways, ports, and airport infrastructure. Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose International Airport should be developed on a priority basis as a project of national importance to make a major international air hub like Delhi or Mumbai. This would serve Eastern India much better. The government has no option but to expand port-led growth in the state. Haldia and Kolkata port ecosystem can become Eastern India's export gateway. To facilitate this, the government has to build modern cargo terminals, smart warehousing zones, river cargo integration, and export processing clusters. North Bengal has long been neglected when it comes to connectivity. To answer long-standing popular demands, the government has to make a strong North Bengal connectivity push. To realize this, Siliguri should be developed into a multimodal logistics hub, a gateway to the northeast, and a major tourism and trade center. Fourth, employment revolution through Skill Bengal 2035. High unemployment has long plagued the state. The state's biggest priority, must be youth employment. It should launch an employment drive through a major employment program, say Skill Bengal 2035, a mission mode program that trains the youth in AI and coding, advanced manufacturing, logistics management, drone operations, hospitality, healthcare technology, and renewable energy systems. There should be promotion of industry-linked education. Colleges and universities should partner directly with industries for apprenticeships, paid internships, startup incubation, and research commercialization. All these will go a long way in reducing flight of talent and help return Bengal's brightest minds within the state. Fifth, agricultural modernization and rural prosperity. Despite urban growth, rural Bengal remains economically quite vital. As of 2026, West Bengal ranks first in India for rice production and second in potato production. The state is a major agricultural hub, producing over 13,000 tons of potatoes and consistently leading in rice cultivation. The government's next generation rural strategy should focus on modernizing agriculture and food processing. The focus areas should be on building food processing clusters, fisheries and aquaculture, cold chain logistics, and organic farming exports. The irrigation system dates back to the 50s and the 60s. The Messenger Dam canals, the Damdar River Valley Corporation networks, and the Durgapur barrage canals still irrigate most of Bengal's land. To make the irrigation more efficient, the state must embrace smart irrigation systems. On war footing, there should be bigger thrust on establishing agro-industrial zones. District-based agro parks could increase farmer incomes, generate rural employment, boost exports, reduce post-harvest losses. Sixth, tourism as a multi-billion-dollar industry. Tourism experts say Bengal remains vastly underutilized as a tourism destination. The new CM will do well to create 4 mega tourism circuits. First, the Heritage Bengal Circuit, which should be centered around Kolkata, colonial architecture, and literature and culture. Second, the Himalayan tourism circuit, which should be focused on updating tourist spots and facilities around Darjeeling area, ecotourism, tea tourism, and adventure sports. Third, spiritual tourism circuit. Bengal offers a host of hot spiritual centers. The government should develop a plan connecting Dakshineshwar, Belur Math, Tarapet, and the ISKCON Center of Mayapur. Fourth, the Sundarbans eco circuit. The government should develop sustainable ecotourism around the Sundarbans with strict environmental safeguards. The government should focus eco-friendly boat services, clean accommodation, and improved roads. This can attract more tourists while protecting the fragile mangrove ecosystem. Local communities should be involved through jobs in guiding, handicrafts, hospitality to improve livelihoods. The government must also strengthen wildlife conservation to protect the Royal Bengal tiger and other species. Awareness campaigns, waste management systems, and promotion of local culture and cuisine can further boost tourism. A well-planned eco-circuit can turn the Sundarbans into a major model of sustainable tourism and economic growth. Much more than anything, to improve investor confidence, the new CM has to bring in good governance and law and order reforms. Economic growth requires institutional stability. The government should bring in strong anti-corruption mechanisms, introduce digitized governance. Police modernization is a must. There has to be mechanisms for faster business dispute resolution and overall transparent public procurement. An investor confidence agenda would create a better environment. The next government must ensure predictable policies, peaceful industrial relations, reduced political violence, and faster administrative responsiveness. Number 8. Green Bengal Mission. The climate is fast changing. Climate resilience will be critical for Bengal's future. The government's strategic priorities should include flood management systems, urban drainage upgrades, riverfront protection is a must to avoid soil erosion. Similarly, special attention should be given to coastal and cyclone-prone regions by developing climate-resilient infrastructure near the seaside. The next government should also focus more on solar and wind energy expansion and introducing electric vehicles in public transport. Number 9. Building Bengal as India's gateway to Southeast Asia. With its strategic geography, Bengal can emerge as India's eastern trade gateway. By geostrategic location, it can be compared to Gujarat in the west coast. While Gujarat connects India to the Gulf, Bengal connects us to the Far East. But Bengal's contribution in maritime trade is very less. Bengal presents some strategic opportunities like BIMSTEC trade integration, Bangladesh connectivity, utilizing it for the northeast trade corridors, which are landlocked. There has to be added thrust on port-led exports and developing cross-border logistic parks. Doubtlessly, all these can turn Bengal into India's most important eastern commercial bridge. Number 10. Restoring Bengal's intellectual leadership. From Rabindranath Tagore to Subhash Chandra Bose, Bengal once shaped India's national discourse. The next CM must restore academic excellence, scientific research, cultural diplomacy, a culture of public debate, and a thriving innovation ecosystem. Things that Bengal was once known for. The new CM's vision, Bengal 2035, should not only clearly spell out the growth blueprint, but show courage and moral rigor to implement them. Bengal can realistically aim for a double digit economic growth, major industrial revival, creation of millions of new jobs, developing Eastern India's largest logistics network, building a globally competitive startup ecosystem, and stronger social stability and investment confidence. Bengal does not lack potential. It lacks execution consistency and long term strategic governance. If implemented with discipline and iron resolve, this roadmap could transform West Bengal from a state of unrealized promise into the economic and intellectual powerhouse of Eastern India. This is Bengal's finest chance in decades. Hope the new establishment would not let it go. Is the new CM listening? What, according to you, would be the new CM's top priority? Let us know in the comment section. Before leaving, do not forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you. Thanks for watching.